Hello there. I'm going to show you how to use the Vulture to make money in the resource extraction sites. I've been running a little bit of a series, just have a quick recap. We used the basic Sidewinder without any upgrades at all until we had just about 3 million, 2.7 is enough or somewhere around there, and then bought the Viper and kitted that fully A grade as far as we could, uh, to keep it safe. And then we went to the resource extraction site with that one, and the high resource extraction site, and we got the feds to help us. With the Sidewinder, we were stealing kills from the feds, like letting them do all the work and then finishing them off. With the Viper, we could take a few preemptive strikes to start the things off, and then the feds joined in. So you can speed things up a little bit uh, more with the Viper in terms of the rate of making money. So after doing that for few hours, you'd get about 1.5 to 2 million an hour in the high resource extraction site in the Viper. So to get the Vulture, you really need 15 million. It's only costs 5 million, but don't buy it when it's just a basic ship. Um, you could use it like that for stealing kills, but from the feds. But it's very vulnerable. You need certain things up to a minimum level, and that's going to cost you about 15 million. So I'm just going to run through that in a minute. This one I've got here costs 22 million, so I've got a few extra things. Now, if you're going to the high resource extraction site where the feds are, the 15 million one will be fine. You can go around, shoot loads of ships just like you did in the Viper, and it's going to be much, much quicker because you're much stronger, more powerful weapons and everything. But the real money is in the HazRes resource extraction site, and the Vulture is quite capable of handling itself there, but you don't want to go there unless it's fully kitted out like this one. So we're talking about 22 million for this one. So what you can do when you've got your 15 million, get the 15 million one, and then earn a few more million in the high resource extraction site, then kit it out more, and then go to the HazRes one to make the serious money. So just have a quick look at this one now. Hard points. Now I use pulse lasers. The weapons is a little bit of personal choice in the Vulture. Some people use a beam laser in one, and then a multi-cannon in the other. That works quite well. The beam laser does make you overheat a little bit, um, so be careful of that. You can also use burst lasers, but the burst lasers need more power than the pulse lasers, and that means you've got to compromise on something else. So with the Vulture, you can't have everything you want. You've got to pick and choose and balance one thing against something else. So that's where the personal choice comes in, and to an extent your fighting style. But this is the way I do it. But just looking down here, our power plant has got 15.6 megawatts, and already we're over that. And I'll show you how we deal with that in a minute. But so you can see that power is important. So utility mounts. We still need our kill warrant scanner. Now, this time I've got a D class because I didn't have enough power for the C class. There's a bit of difference between the two, and that meant I would have had to compromise on this one here, the shield booster. So I could have a C class kill warrant scanner, but then I wouldn't have enough power for the shield booster as well. And that shield booster gives 20% extra shields, and that's worthwhile. You'll see later when we go to the resource extraction site, I run right down to nearly naught rings several times, and without that shield booster, I would have been taking serious damage. And a couple of chaffs. Now I tried point defense, but the problem is there, especially in the high resource extraction site, the feds are helping you out all the time, and they fire missiles, and your point defense, he doesn't care who's firing the missile. As soon as it sees one, it kills it. So as fast as the feds are trying to help you kill the bad guy, your point defense is wiping out their attempts. So in the end, I switched mine off, and I found I could kill things much quicker. So I leave that off now. If you're in another ship where you get in one-to-one situations, trading missions, whatever, where you get interdicted, then a point defense is really good. But in the resource extraction side, no, it's a waste of time. So I think a chaff's much more useful. So core internals, basically we want to max everything out. So the bulkheads in the high resource extraction site, you can use the basic bulkheads that come with the ship. But when you go to the hazardous one, you want at least reinforced. Ideally, you want military grade. Now the reinforced ones, I think they were about 4 million on their own, and the military grade about 10 million. So you can see we're talking about serious money. When I do get 10 million, I've got 4 million at the moment, I will upgrade those, but I haven't got enough money at the moment. So power plant needs to be maximum. Thrusters, you can use 5C, which saves a bit of power. So then, if you were using the burst lasers, you would have to go down to 5C thrusters, and there's not too much difference. It does affect your maneuverability a little bit and your speed, but not enough to make a real difference. Frame shift drive doesn't really matter. Most we're jumping is one stop, so you could have a D grade, but as I just about had a little bit of power left over, I went for the C grade. The difference between C and D is so small it doesn't affect anything else, but just I had that extra like 0.5% of power that I needed to get the C, and it wasn't useful for anything else, so I got the C one just in case I have to jump a bit further. So you can see I've only got down here 9 light years of jump, which isn't far anyway. So life support 3D. Now with a Vulture you do get your canopy blown out sometimes, so this gives you 7.5 minutes to get to the station to repair. If you don't make it in 7.5 minutes, you're dead. And so you have to be careful when you're in a resource extraction site or whatever else you're doing with your Vulture. You need to be, within about 1,500 light seconds to get there comfortably within the 7.5 minutes. If there's one 3,000 light seconds away, sometimes you get caught in gravity and it takes you ages to get going and you don't make it, and you get to the entrance of the station and boom, you blow up. So 3D is about the minimum you want. Again, 3C would be better, but question of power. So this is adequate, certainly for where we're going. Power distributor, you want it to be the maximum. Now sensors, that's one, again, it's a compromise. I've gone for C grade because sensors now affect your weapons. So the lower the grade your sensors, the less easier they find it to target ships at a distance. So ideally we'd want A, but we simply don't have enough power. So if I had, again, the burst lasers, I couldn't have C grade sensors. So that's part of the compromises that I've done. So now we don't change the fuel tank because it's the basic minimum one. We've got this new module now, the module reinforcement package. That's just a question of filling up. That is quite important because when you lose the shields in a Vulture, you take module damage more or less immediately. So this thing gives you a little bit of protection, and still not enough, but you'll just last a little bit longer before things start not working on you. And normally the lower grade things, like you lose a pulse laser or you lose a chaff or something, but as long as you got your thrusters and everything, at least you can get away still. So now we go to the optional ones. Now you need your 5A shield generator minimum, and the rest of the things in the beginning you can leave empty if you haven't got enough money, but I did have hull reinforcement packages in there. So I went to the HazRes resource extraction site, and in one battle, I had a very long battle with a gunship, and he got my shields down, and I did still take module damage. So and my hull was still way up. So what I've done now, I've changed them for module reinforcement to see, hopefully they'll protect the modules a little bit better, because obviously if you lose your thrusters, you're dead in the water, and that's pretty serious. So they need to be protected at all costs. So I think this is going to be better um, than hull reinforcement. And at least with hull reinforcement, you can see where you are on it by the percentage. With modules, you've just no idea. You're fighting away, and suddenly, boom! It just tells you your frameshift drive's gone, or whatever. So you don't know what they're going to target with their missiles. So hopefully, with the other module reinforcement package and this one, the modules will last a lot better. So that's about it. So if you want to go to the HazRes, you need those bulkheads and the module reinforced packages. If you're going to the high res, you've just got like an overstrong Viper, and you didn't need them for that, so you won't need them for the Vulture. So you can just earn a bit more money, and when you get that money, put it into this. So that's it. So we'll see how we get on, and maybe see you in the HazRes in another video.